Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, playwright, and advisor to Emperor Nero, left behind a wealth of wisdom in his writings. His works, ranging from moral essays to tragedies, reflect his belief in virtue, resilience, and the power of the human mind. The following collection of some of his most famous quotes offers insight into his thoughts on life, death, adversity, happiness, and wisdom. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Seneca often emphasized that life itself can be a challenge, particularly when faced with suffering and hardship. He viewed courage as an essential virtue, not just in facing external dangers, but in enduring life's struggles with dignity. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This quote highlights the Stoic idea that much of human suffering comes from our perceptions rather than actual events. Seneca believed that our minds create unnecessary fear and anxiety, and by mastering our thoughts, we can achieve peace. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Rather than relying on fate, Seneca advocated for proactive effort and readiness. Success, in his view, was not purely accidental, but the result of diligence and being prepared for when opportunities arise. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Seneca frequently wrote about the value of time, urging people to use it wisely. He criticized those who squander their lives on trivial pursuits, rather than focusing on personal growth and meaningful endeavors. Difficulty comes from our lack of confidence. Many obstacles in life, Seneca argued, are not due to actual impossibility, but rather to self-doubt. Confidence and perseverance are crucial in overcoming challenges. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. The quality of life, rather than its length, was of paramount importance to Seneca. He believed that living virtuously and meaningfully was more significant than merely extending one's lifespan. He who is brave is free. Freedom, according to Seneca, is not merely political or physical, but psychological. The truly free person is the one who has conquered fear and desires, achieving mastery over their own mind. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. This quote encourages mindfulness and the appreciation of the present moment. Rather than postponing happiness or waiting for a perfect future, Seneca advises us to treat each day as a complete existence in itself. No man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom, in Seneca's view, is something that must be pursued actively. It does not come accidentally, but through deliberate reflection, learning, and experience. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Seneca wrote extensively on anger, warning of its destructive nature. He believed that uncontrolled anger harms the one who experiences it more than the person it is directed at. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Adversity, Seneca argued, is essential for personal growth. Just as friction refines a gemstone, challenges refine a person's character and resilience. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. This ties back to his idea that unnecessary suffering often comes from anticipation and worry. Many people experience distress not from real events, but from imagined fears. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Purpose and direction are essential in life. Without clear goals or values, no amount of external success will lead to fulfillment. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Seneca believed in the power of patience and restraint, especially in moments of heightened emotion. Giving oneself time to cool down prevents impulsive and regrettable actions. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. True wealth, according to Seneca, is not about material possessions, but about contentment. A person who is constantly in pursuit of more, regardless of how much they already have, is in a state of perpetual poverty. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. This is a call to embrace the present rather than worrying about what is beyond our control. Seneca encourages living fully in the now, rather than delaying joy and fulfillment. Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool. Money and possessions should be tools for a virtuous life, not something that controls one's actions and desires. Wisdom allows a person to use wealth properly, whereas foolishness leads to being consumed by it. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Seneca emphasized the importance of surrounding oneself with virtuous and wise individuals. The company we keep influences our character and outlook on life. It does not matter how many books you have, but how good the books are. Quality over quantity was a recurring theme in Seneca's writings. This applies not only to books, but to knowledge and possessions in general. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive. Fear of death, Seneca believed, paralyzes action and prevents people from living fully. Accepting mortality allows one to act with courage and purpose. The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable. Worrying excessively about the future diminishes the quality of the present. Seneca advised focusing on what can be controlled rather than being consumed by uncertainty. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. Seneca recognized the power of mindset in personal improvement. The desire for well-being is an essential step toward achieving it. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. This quote warns against being scattered and unfocused. Trying to do too many things at once often results in achieving nothing of substance. The sun also shines on the wicked. Good fortune is not reserved for the virtuous, just as misfortune is not exclusive to the wicked. External circumstances do not always reflect moral worth. Life is long if you know how to use it. Again, Seneca stresses the importance of valuing time. A meaningful life is not necessarily a long one, but one spent wisely. Every night before going to sleep, we must ask ourselves, what weakness did I overcome today? What virtue did I acquire? Self-reflection is crucial for growth. Seneca believed in the practice of daily self-examination to track one's moral progress. The bravest sight in the world is to see a great man struggling against adversity. Seneca admired resilience and strength in the face of hardship. He viewed struggle as an opportunity to demonstrate character. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. A strong mind can withstand any external hardship. True strength comes from within, rather than from circumstances. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Life is filled with suffering, but rather than despairing over individual moments, one must accept suffering as an inherent part of existence. Death is a release from all suffering. Seneca viewed death not as something to be feared, but as a natural and inevitable end that frees one from the troubles of life. Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. Those who accept life's challenges willingly are guided by fate, while those who resist are forced along unwillingly. Acceptance of one's circumstances leads to a smoother journey. Leisure without study is death. Idleness without intellectual or personal development is, to Seneca, a wasted existence. The wise man is content with himself. True contentment comes from within, rather than from external validation or possessions. Drunkenness is nothing but voluntary madness. Excessive indulgence, whether in alcohol or other vices, leads to loss of self-control and rationality. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Seneca saw kindness as a universal duty. Every interaction is an opportunity to act with compassion. Through these quotes, Seneca's Stoic philosophy becomes evident. His emphasis on self-discipline, acceptance of fate, and the importance of virtue continues to inspire. His words serve as a timeless guide for those seeking wisdom, resilience, and meaning in their lives.